is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the Rapid Reaction of NXT No Mercy 2024. Before we get into this and breaking it down, this is what happened here. NXT, during a 3-hour block that they had blocked off, finished about 16, 17 minutes earlier than 9 o'clock. That's one. They had 6 matches. That's 2. So, when Triple H wants to talk about, he wants to talk about, not doing this for the, trying to do something for 3 hours for the fans. And the fans get what they want. Instead of doing a show. He said he has cited this as to why there are only 5 matches on these quote-unquote B shows, and why they're going to 2 nights of SummerSlam. I mean, seriously. First off, I think one of the things that you look at NXT and show what they're doing. They had 6 matches tonight, and it ended about 16 minutes before 9 o'clock Central Time. So that was an hour. That was 6 matches. I mean, first off, that's you got to be able to do that. So there's no need for the friggin' 2-night stuff. No 2-night WrestleMania, no 2 nights SummerSlam, nothing. There's no need for that. So we don't need to do that. You're proving, so much is proving that you can do this. That's number one. And number 2, it's just 5. Yeah, I mean, you can do. Yeah, you don't have to worry about trying to do all of the other stuff. No, not everyone. Not every match needs to be a 25-minute match. And you even learn with SummerSlam that what are you doing is you're doing something that makes sense. A Braun Breaker beating Sami Zayn in less than 8 minutes makes sense, and you can do anything that makes sense. It could be less than 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes or 12 minutes from including entrances. 12 minutes to go out there, tell a story. Put on a good match, tell a good story, and come right back. Everything doesn't have to try to be a 20-25 minute epic. Because not everything needs to be that. So, Triple H, I got to make sure that I put this down as one of my things for making WWE better. Because that video is coming out soon once I watch the other one really quick here, so I can, because I see it, and then I didn't have anything wanted to write down some stuff so that I can remember to do videos on. All right, so let's go ahead and let's start the recap. Started off with the NXT Tag Team title match. It was between Chase U and, again, I saw my predictions. I was calling them the Supersonic Duo because that was what was on the website that I saw. people on Twitter are calling him Fraxium. I don't know what the, but they weren't called by either name. They were called by Axiom and Nathan Frazier. So I don't know what the hell is going on here. Just, give him a name. God damn it. Anyway, as for the match, again, very good, very great match from these four guys here. This wasn't the certified banger that was that they had on television a few weeks ago, but this was very, very good, very, very excited. I give it 4.25 star. I thought this was incredible. That's really good stuff. We had Andre Chase doing the Spanish fly, and then when he got up, he picked him up and gave him a tiger driver, a tiger bomb, whatever you want to call it, to axe him, and he still kicked out. So that's got to be a super finisher in the in the game. That's got to be a super finisher in WWE 2K25. The Spanish fly into a tiger bomb. That's got to be a thing. We get the match, and my surprise, they knocked out Ridge for a little bit. Actually, finished flattening out their Chase, and then Frazier and Frazier hit the Phoenix Splash for the victory, 1, 2, 3, and they are regaining the tag team championships. To my surprise, I thought they wasn't going to do this. I don't know why the title change happened. Anyway, I understand title change for a title change. I would have understood if Solo Sikoa beat Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, and then him lose it back to Cody at Bash in Berlin. I would understand that. There's not a title change for a title change. There was a story there happening with Roman and things like that in the bloodline. But if you just put the titles on Chase U just to do this and do what came after it, I don't know. I wouldn't have agreed with that. Speaking of what happens after the match, as Frazier and Axiom are going back to the back celebrating, Chase U's in the ring and everybody's disappointed. Ridge and Chase are selling. And as Hudson and Riley go to leave, Ridge turns on him, and then he turns on maybe Chase, and he gets so far back that he does the rampage DDT onto Andre Chase onto the table, and Andre Chase has to be then stretched out. I put this out on Twitter, and I'll say it here. Chase U should be a place where you go to want to change, right? That's what it did. Duke Hudson, was changed. Everybody was talking about, everybody thought that he was going to be a change onto Andre Chase, but it didn't happen. Jesse James had kind of a change, so much so that she organized those calendars to save Chase U. But then they had to turn on Thea again, and I didn't like that, and I didn't like this. Again, like I said, Chase U should be a place where you go to change. If you're a bad guy, you've done bad things, you go there, you hang around those people as a good guy, then you become one of the students. Right, you become one of the students, things like that. And I thought that's what they were going to do here with Ridge, and then they turned on it. And I don't know, I don't get it. I put it out on Twitter where I said, we've all burned rice. We've all been cooking, and whether it's where we're watching, our shows or just doing something else while we're cooking, and then all of a sudden, oh, something burning, or the alarm, smoke alarm goes off, oh, something's burning, and we go, and if you see the rice burnt to the pot. Oh man, we burned the rice. I said that tonight's thing of having Ridge Holland turn heel, and I may even say even having Chase U lose the tag team titles with Sean burning the rice. Yes, he's been cooking. He's been cooking over the last few months, but tonight he burnt the rice with this one, I think. So, but again, as a match, it was incredible. 4.25 stars. Next was Wesley against I'm just gonna say Carson Wentz. Zachary Wentz, the former MSK and Rascal teammates collide, and I forgot what his name was in NXT. I remembered it because at some point during the match, the announcer, I can't think of his name. I can't remember his name now. See, this is why when you get old, because I can remember what happened in the in the '85 Bears season when I was 3 years old. That stuck there, but the name of the guy who does these commentary for NXT just goes. It just goes. It's gone. It's somewhere in there. It knows it. But this is not there. But he mentioned that he got hit so hard he thought he was gonna think his name was Carter. He didn't even remember that his name was Nash Carter. Yeah, so that's who it was. So anyway, they had a really interesting match. The crowd didn't seem to really care about this for like the first half, and then the second half really got into it. They were really into the tag match. So maybe this was like the first half of it was them coming down, from that tag match. But second half they got they were a little better. They even got a "This is awesome" chant. Right, they were doing some of the things. Very interesting spot where Wesley puts Zachary Wentz on the table, and you don't see it because the camera's following Wesley, but the table breaks. The table breaks, and we let's see like fucking. This is the first. This is the first of two spots that doesn't go exactly right, and they and the people just say fuck it. They say fuck it, and they just continue on. What you should do? You shouldn't try to repeat the spot. Just say fuck it and move on. And I'm gonna guess that he was going to do some type of knee drop, onto Wentz to break the table, the Meteora, so to speak. But here's the table broke. He just does the Meteora to Zachary Wentz. At this point, Wentz, a little bit later, Wentz gets rolled into the ring, and he's like at his head by the ring post. Wesley grabs a chair to swing the chair and like crack his skull and things like that. And as he draws back, he gets ripped out of his hands by Trey Miguel, the third member of the Rascals. So then they go ahead and do that, get back into the ring. They put outside. Wesley gets caught up. Jackie Wentz hits him with the lead announcer said it's the UFO 1, 2, 3, and the winner is Zachary Wentz, which again is surprising. And according to my prediction, right now in my predictions, I'm 0-2. And I thought Wesley was going to win. And I thought JC was going to win, but now I'm 0-2. Yikes! But I thought it was a decent match. I thought again the crowd maybe kind of hurt it because like I said in the first half of the match they just wasn't for it for some reason. But that's okay. I give it 4 stars. Next was the Women's North American Championship between Kalani Jordan and Wendy Chu. So, I'm going to see if I can quickly just give you the backstory about this. So, I did not like the Wendy Chu gimmick. I do not like it. I still do not like it. I did not like the Wendy Chu gimmick where she was sleepy and she came out and wrestled in pajamas and she had a pillow. And then during the match, some point in the match, she would go and lay on the pillow. She had a match with Tiffany Stratton, like a street fight where she didn't bring out the bag of thumbtacks. She brought out the bag of Legos. It's as stupid a gimmick as pockets. It's just fucking stupid. And it's not over at all. And then when she's come back, now she's evil sleepy person. And it just really is. And people on Twitter are over it too. They're over it too. Just the Winnie Chu gimmick does not. It has sucked. It is always has sucked. And I put out on Twitter that I think it's time for Winnie Chu to get another injury so that she can reboot herself one more time. And then maybe this time, maybe actually be herself. Be Karen Q, which is the name she used when she was on the Indies or as her real given name, whatever it is. But just come back as Karen Q. And what is your gimmick? Well, my gimmick is I want to be a WWE wrestler. And I don't need to be Sleepy Time, or I don't need to be evil Sleepy Time. I just need to be Karen Q. And just do that, and have her be that. And she doesn't. What was the feng shui or something when they had the evil with Xia Li and Boa, and she was like Mei Ying. I guess that's I call it feng shui. Same thing. Yeah. So just do that, right? Yeah. That was not. I guess that wasn't all that great. It was a lot better than this. So she really is, and again, like I said, I should really try to not make this about the person, because I think Karen Q is an exceptional wrestler. Which when as a baby face and even as this now heel version of this Wendy Chu, she has shown signs of being great in the ring. Great. She has shown signs. So that's good. So she can work. Then just make her a worker. So I want to make sure that I said that she, the person, does not suck. And is not hateable. This character is. And gotta take that away. It's just turn off the television, type stuff. It really is. As for the match that she had with Kalani Jordan for this Women's North American title, again, a very good, very well wrestled match from the two of them. They did an excellent job. It's still kind of hard to get into because of that goddamn gimmick. But it's good. And the second spot of the fuck it, we're gonna do something else. It looked like Jordan was going to the top, and it looked like they were gonna do something where Winnie Chu was gonna run up the thing, run up the turnbuckle, and suplex her off or arm drag off or something like that. Well, she gets up there, Winnie Chu, but she can't stable herself and she falls. And she kind of brings down Kalani Jordan, and Kalani Jordan falls on the stomach. So instead of redoing the spot, which you should never do, they both just said, fuck it. Which I love it. They both said, fuck it. Then Chu gets up and puts her in that modified, Cobra clutch, and they work that, and then what they probably did is you still was able to get to the spot. You get to the next spot that's going to be after that spot, the spot where Kalani Jordan does the 450. I'm not sure if I'm missing something in there in between, but either way it goes, you got to the one spot from the fuck up to what they were gonna actually get back to, and then Kalani Jordan hits a split-legged moonsault for the victory. 1, 2, 3. She retains the Women's North American Championship. After the match, Tatum Paxley comes in and puts Wendy Chu to sleep and sets a miniature Wendy Chu doll, like a fucking voodoo doll, and sets it on her black pillow. I gave it 3.5 stars. So now Kalani Jordan is out of this thing, and her and Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu's not going to be doing some stuff. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. The Men's North American Championship was up next. We had Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo. This was a really nice match. Again, I'm not sure exactly why this has happened. Maybe because it's Denver and they're all high or something. I'm not sure. But the crowd didn't really seem to get into this until the final half. But it was really good stuff, and I think it really got a story about how Tony D'Angelo was countering Obafemi's power with his smarts and with everything, with his smarts, with his speed. He's faster than Obafemi. He's not that fast, but he's faster than Obafemi. His quickness and things like that. And I found that to be good stuff. And I found it also he was going into the reserve because he knew he was facing Obafemi. I like the story that they told here. At one point, Obafemi goes outside and he's attacking the Lucas Cristofino, the lawyer, and he attacks him and he gets a crowbar. He's going to smash Tony D'Angelo. Stacks, you guys are the come on. He takes Stacks to the woodshed, and then Obafemi comes back to go after Tony, runs into the stairs. Tony throws him in, runs off, hits a spear. Which, by the way, we may have to have a talk about the spear. Okay, we may have to have a talk about the spear one day, because frankly, everybody can't do the fucking spear. Or if everybody does do a fucking spear, it can't be a finisher. God damn it! Let's stop something there. Anyway, it's it's a good thing. In the 20 minutes, I think he hits his finisher. Doesn't kick out. At one point, Obafemi goes for a power bomb and gets it. That doesn't work. That doesn't keep down Tony D'Angelo. But at some point, he does get him. He gets one, not only one, but 2 power bombs, including the sit-out version. The last one, 1, 2, 3, he wins and retains the North American Championship. This was no surprise. A very good match from these 2 4 stars. I gave it. And Obafemi, there was no chance Obafemi being the win. But I also like the fact that I think what we're seeing now is that he's now starting to be vulnerable, Obafemi. When he first started off, it didn't seem like he was vulnerable at any time. Sure, he took damage, and sure he took hits, and he took the work, he took the beatings that he was given. But it also seemed like that he could just feel like everybody, he could shrug it off and still do what he needed to do to win the match. But now, ever since Stand and Deliver, the triple threat match between him, Dijak, and Josh Briggs, it seems like now he is, he's starting now to become vulnerable and be able to take a lot more damage, and to be not be just kick out at 1, he's kicking out at 2.5, 2 3/4. So I like that. So I do like that, but I do still think that Overfemi should, as they tell the story, Overfemi should still be overcoming. Because again, you know, this is Roman Reigns. Like I said in my predictions video, this is Roman Reigns. This is Gunther. This is now Braun Breaker. This is, he holds the title until the guy who is supposed to beat him is there. Right now, they don't have a guy over who should beat Overfemi. They don't. They don't have a guy on the NXT roster who should beat Overfemi. Not yet. Maybe it's the young OG, whatever his name is, Javon Green or whatever, whoever that is. It should just be. It might be him, but he definitely needs to get a little bit more work, a little bit more seasoning to his game before I take him as a legitimate threat to Overfemi North American Championship. So that's that. So what was I going to say? Any more about the match? No, I guess I don't need to say anymore. Yeah, I've kind of spoken my thing about that. Okay, so on to the women's title match between Jada Parker and Roxanne Perez. I said I've another thing I've talked about that I don't like too much is the Roxanne Perez heel turn and subsequent title run, because at 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds, at 5 foot tall and 90 pounds soaking wet, she beats these women who are bigger than her without cheating, and she's a heel. It makes no fucking sense. No, if you want, if this was Izzy Dame, I would not have any qualms about it. If this was Tiffany Stratton, I would have any qualms about it. If this was Kiana James, if this is JC Jane or Fallon Henley, I wouldn't have a thing about this being about them beating people that may be bigger than them by out wrestling them, because it's while they may not be big women, although Izzy Dane's she's a kind of a taller girl, but it would make more sense. Okay, they can beat them by winning, out wrestling them. That's good. That's what you want to see. I still think the heels should cheat in some form or fashion, but okay, they're winning clean. It doesn't matter. But when Roxanne Perez, again at 5 foot nothing, 90 pounds, is beating women 2 times her size without cheating, it doesn't make any sense, and it's unbelievable. And this match was, and again, they do need to do stuff to make it more believable. And they had a thing where Jada Parker ribs were working, so she was working on the ribs. Okay, again, I can understand. I can do with that. Okay, still, she's working on the ribs. Jada Parker, I can get that. I can understand that. Still don't know that means that she should actually win the match, but she has to, because they're not going to do Julia versus Roxanne Perez in sometime in the next couple months. They're probably going to do it 2 times. Actually, they're probably going to do it once on NXT, maybe even the NXT in Chicago on October 3rd, and then they'll probably have a match at Halloween Havoc. And then afterwards, Roxanne Perez will probably take a couple months off, and then she'll be in the Royal Rumble, and that'll be the start of her main roster run, which I hope at some point they decide to turn her back babyface, or at least on the main roster make her cheat to win. As a wrestling match, it was really good. I've seen some stuff from Jada Parker. You know, let's be honest. Jada Parker has a following because of how she looks, not necessarily what she does in the ring. And she's not bad at it. I don't want to say that as if to say that she's not good. You know, she's good, but she was really good today with the selling of the thing and being part of the story. So she shows really good stuff there. You know, it's kind of interesting. At some point during this show, I started thinking to myself about the verb carry and how it's used in wrestle term. Like someone carries somebody through a promo, somebody carries somebody through a match. You know, I think some of the most interesting ones are um, um, British Bulldog and Bret the Hitman Hart. Apparently, according to Bret's autobiography, um, Bulldog was out of it from doing drugs that the day before, maybe even that morning, he was just out of it. So Bret Hart had to guide him through each and every part of the match. You know, this is what we're gonna do into together, and it's one of the great matches of all time. And so sometimes and everything like that. They, so that's something where you say, where you say they carried someone. Bret carried Bulldog to a match. There's the obviously WrestleMania 30. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. Undertaker is concussed, but you can say that Brock Lesnar carried Undertaker through that match because he was concussed. And there are other ways to say it. Somebody, you know, I think what I would say is that um, I'll say this: the iconic promo between Roman Reigns and John Cena several years ago when uh, when Roman was when Roman was when he was Roman and John was John, and you kind of had that thing where at one point Roman he forgets the promo and John Cena starts it up. You can say John Cena carried Roman through that promo. So, and I bring it up because I don't want to say Roxanne Perez carried Jada Parker in this match because I think Jada Parker held her own, but in the inexperience that happens between for these two, you do have to wonder for this to be as good as it was, you know, was there something there maybe extra that Roxanne Perez maybe did with Jada Parker? But Roxanne Perez won with the I was called the Code Breaker, the Code Red Pop Rocks, 1, 2, 3. She wins, and afterwards, Julia came out, finally made her NXT, her true NXT debut, I guess you could say, as an NXT superstar. She wasn't still an NXT superstar when they showed her as Stand and Deliver. But not she after shortly after then became one, and she also like broke her wrist or something like that. But now she's healthy, she's anything like that. So now it looks like it's going to be at some point Julia versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title. So yeah, they have. I gave it 4 stars. And finally, the NXT title match: Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. This was a very good match. I will say this, and I want to make sure I say it correctly, because I have to wonder if Joe Hendry isn't as good as we make him out to be. I mean, listen, he's got a great catchy song. He's got a great engaging personality. The aura from him is real. But at least from what I've seen, and listen, all of the stuff I've seen of Joe Hendry, is I've seen some clips on TikTok that TNA wrestling or other people reacting to the wrestling. I've only seen clips from him on there, or I watched the stuff on NXT that he's done. Um, he, and I don't know if he's, the type of guy that can put on, 4.5 5-star classics. And listen, I want to make sure that I say this because I've never thought that to be a champion, especially the main champion, the WWE champion, the world champion, the TNA champion, the NXT champion, that I never thought that you needed to be some type of fantastic worker. I've said on this channel talking about Jey Uso, where I think Jey Uso is not a bad worker. Like some people do think he is. I don't think so. I don't think he is. I still think he's a good enough worker that with what he can do in that ring, combined with how over with the fans he is, that makes him championship material. Heavyweight championship material. Top championship material. And with Joe Hendry, from the stuff that I've seen, I think the same thing. I think he's good enough in the ring. And I think that he is, and I think his stuff with the thing and everything like that, him being over as well with the crowd is a good thing. And I think that can make him championship material. But what I wonder is, I may have to wonder this about, the main office. I wonder is do people in TNA, the head of TNA, does Shawn Michaels not think that Joe Hendry is good enough to be a main champion? And that's why he did not win tonight. Because I think tonight would have been a perfect time, again, to pull the trigger. Like I thought they should have pulled the trigger on Jordan Grace beating Roxanne Perez. This was a good time, great time, better time than any for Joe Hendry to beat Ethan Page. So, but that did not happen. Joe Hendry lost to Ethan Page. Trick Williams got knocked down. Well, at one point, Joe Hendry hits a standing ovation on Ethan Page, and Trick Williams goes to count, but Ego's foot is under the rope, so he stops his count. And Joe Hendry's like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm calling like down the middle. His foot was under the rope. I can't do anything. I have to call it like I see it. That's why I stopped the count. And then Ego pushes Hendry into Trick Williams. Trick Williams takes a bump to the outside. There's Eagles. So I think Ethan Page does a move to Hendry, which brings down another referee to count the 1, 2, and things like that. Ego goes to get the NXT title, brings it in the ring. They mess around with it. Joe Hendry, or I think. No, actually, I think what happened is that Joe Hendry goes to get the title, and the other referee stops him from going anywhere with it. Hendry rolls up Page, 1, 2, kick out. Then Hendry goes to grab the title for some reason, either to throw it out or to pick it up himself. He gets DDT'd on the title by Ethan Page. The new referee counts 1, 2, and on the third one, Trick Williams comes in to stop the count, and he's saying that I'm the official of the match. I'm gonna call it like I see it, and then Ethan gets up, kind of rightfully so, saying, "Hey, I had the match won. You interfered in the match. You said you can call it right down the middle." holding it right down the middle would have been letting the referee, letting the other referee count the thing. And he said, "No, this is my match. This is my show. I'm going to do it." So Egan draws back to a punch. Trick Williams ducks, hits the other referee. The other Trick Williams goes. He looks at the referee, and while he's looking at him, Joe Hendry grabs Ethan by the throat, looking for another standing ovation. Ethan kicks Joe Hendry in the balls because he's a heel, and that's what heels do. And he picks him up for another Eagles Edge. 1, 2, 3, reluctantly count by Trick Williams. Ethan Page is still your NXT champion. After the match, Pete Dunne pulls Trick Williams out, hits him with the bitter end to the outside, and we leave on Butch looking at, eyeing both Trick Williams and Ethan Page. So Ava did say at some point during this thing that on October 3rd, when they debut on CW from Chicago, the NXT Championship will be defended. So it's going to be either Pete Dunne, Trick Williams, Joe Hendry again, or all three of them, or two of those, three of them, something like that. So I'm sure of that. We're going to get that at NXT, and that's actually where maybe we'll get a title change, whether it's Joe Hendry or Trick Williams. It's not going to be Pete Dunne because Pete Dunne's on the main roster now, and he's doing the NXT thing. Well, I guess again you could put it on Pete Dunne and have him be on the main roster, but then I don't think you should have him because he losing to Sheamus or anybody else. So I don't actually probably won't be Pete Dunne. So it's either going to be it's going to be three matches. It's either going to be a straight up Trick Williams ego match, a Joe Hendry ego match, or a triple threat match between Ego, Hendry, and Williams. As a match, the star rating, I give it 3.5 stars. So a very nice match from you guys. So there you have it. That's NXT No Mercy. Rapid reaction from it. Very good show. And I was gonna say, always it was a good time. I think I know what it's gonna do here. Of all those things, the wide picks, yada yada. WWE changes. Yeah. That's something for that to shoot. Well, that's I think that the WWE can make better. So, all right, guys, that'll be it for this episode of the Rapid Reaction on the NXT No Mercy. If you're watching this on demand, post is coming down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys feel about No Mercy 2024. Let me know those thoughts in the comment section. And make sure while you're here to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. Because when you click the notification bell, any video that I put out, you'll get no notification for it. And any live stream that I start, you get a notification for that as well. For those of you guys watching on Facebook and on Twitch, yes, make sure that you go ahead and you'll follow it on here as well. So the next Rapid Reaction should be Bad Blood. Yes, that should be Bad Blood. So we'll see you then. As always, guys, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.